In this video, we're going to be going over 7 tips on how to start intermittent fasting so you can begin experiencing the benefits of this eating plan regardless of what your goals are with it. What's going on, Next Level Nation? This is your man Johnny F here with Next Level Warrior, sharing insight and tips helping you to become your next level self. If you're new here and appreciate this content, please consider subscribing to join the Next Level community. With its surging popularity and countless studies showcasing the wide array of benefits to the human body, more and more people are jumping on the intermittent fasting train. I've been practicing intermittent fasting for roughly 4 years now, starting with the 16-8 method for the first half, then transitioning over into the Warrior diet, 2-hour eating windows, and more 36-hour fasts than I can count. Intermittent fasting was one of the major tools that I used in the final phases of my weight loss journey, which you can check out here. We're going to be focusing on the 16-8 method, whereby you're fasting for 16 hours and eating your meals during the other 8. The following tips have been put together from my experience and success with intermittent fasting in my life and others that I've helped coach. Tip number 1. Choose your eating window. Some people don't realize that you can actually choose your eating window to fit within your schedule and needs. You don't have to stick with a standard 12 to 8 p.m. window that most other people follow. The best 8-hour eating window is going to be the one that works for you, the one that will increase your chances of actually succeeding in adapting to this fasting schedule. To do this, ask yourself if you prefer to have your last meal earlier in the day or later in the evening. Make your choice based on what you feel you can stick to for the first month. Some options are 8 a.m. to 4 p.m., 12 to 8 p.m., 2 to 10 p.m., and anything in between. If you do prefer to eat much closer to your bedtime and have concerns about this, let me know in the comments down below and I'll be sure to answer your questions. There is no right or wrong here. Tip number 2, drink lots of water. Take advantage of your fasting window to hydrate yourself. This will help to fill you up and aid in suppressing your appetite. Sometimes we can misinterpret dehydration signals as hunger, so drinking more water can help you avoid this. Tip number 3. Make sure you're eating enough. Do your best to stay within a similar number of calories to what you're eating before you started intermittent fasting. This will make it much easier and quicker to adapt to your new 16-8 schedule. If you're having a hard time eating that much within your 8-hour window, then do your absolute best to not go lower than a 25% calorie deficit. Keeping your calories as close as possible to what they were before will make the transition much easier for you and help with sustainable long-term fat loss by delaying your plateaus. Tip number 4, make sure to break your fast with whole foods. When you're breaking your fast with your first meal, it can be tempting to just stuff yourself with whatever food is around. This is not a good idea. The empty calories in junk food will not provide your body with the micronutrients that it needs, resulting in a longer, more difficult adaptation period. Break your fast with lots of high fiber veggies and quality protein. This will provide you with adequate micronutrients to make your following day's fasting period much easier. I'm not saying that you can't have any processed foods. In fact, I believe it's a great idea to be flexible. Just make sure that a solid 80% of your calories are coming from whole foods. Tip number 5, avoid telling people that you're fasting. You're bound to come across friends or colleagues that know about intermittent fasting, and maybe some that even practice it. But you're more likely to come across people who don't understand it. By telling people about it, you're increasing your chances of not being supported, hearing their uneducated assumptions, and naysaying. This will not help. During the first few weeks, you'll be changing a lot more than just your eating schedule. You'll be shifting your understanding and deeply ingrained belief systems surrounding food that you've grown up with all your life. Simply put, until you begin to see and experience the varying benefits of intermittent fasting, you'll be in a vulnerable place that's much more susceptible to people's ignorance. So do yourself the favor of keeping it to yourself until you adapt and start experiencing the benefits. Then go right on ahead and blast it all over social media. Tip number 6, make the commitment. The more on point and consistent you are with your fasting schedule, the easier you will adapt. Your brain's going to realize that you're still giving it enough food, just at a different time of the day. Once your body becomes familiar with the schedule, then instead of sending out hunger signals, it's going to open the gateway to using fat as your primary source of fuel. This is when it becomes super easy. Your energy levels increase and hunger stays away. So make sure that you stay consistent with it for a minimum of 3 weeks, and you'll be glad you did. Tip number 7, avoid all calories while you're fasting. It doesn't take many calories to trigger an insulin response, which will completely halt the fasting process. In many instances, having less than 30 calories, such as a splash of milk in your coffee, won't flip on your insulin switch. But for the sake of adapting to intermittent fasting quickly, make sure to avoid all calories during your fasting window. And for all you bulletproof heads, this means no butter or MCT oil in your coffee. You can drink plenty of black coffee, tea, water, and carbonated water. Just be extra cautious with any zero-calorie drinks or chewing gum that contain artificial sweeteners. I'm not going to dive into any conspiracy theories here. The trouble is that when your tongue signals something sweet to your brain, but there's no glucose present, this can result in making you hungry and possibly triggering an insulinogenic response, which would result in halting your fast. On a side note, if you do have trouble with having coffee on an empty stomach, check out this video and it should help you out with that. If you follow these steps, you have a much higher chance of adopting this epic eating style into your life, so you can experience the benefits that go far beyond that of just losing fat. Do you have any experience with intermittent fasting? Maybe you've got some extra tips that I haven't mentioned in this video, or you're still on the fence about starting it altogether. I'd love to hear about it in the comments down below, along with any video suggestions about fasting that you'd like me to do in the future. Also, I want to give you guys a huge thanks for checking out this video and taking interest in another way to level up your life. Thumbs up if you liked the video, and make sure to hit that subscribe button so you can join the Next Level community. I'll catch you guys in the next video.